During the Clinton administration, people had fallen in love with deregulation. This culminated in the creation of the Investment Modernization Act, a bill that was created in order to repeal the 1905 banning of bucket shops. The problem? Bucket shops were banned in the first place to stop another recession from occurring. This bill gave banks the power to make stupid decisions with not only their own money, but everyone else's as well. With the housing craze going on, banks used adjustable rate mortgages to lure people in. What would happen is that someone would take a loan out on an expensive house at a low interest rate. But as people soon found out, there were extra fees and other loans piled on. This put them into debt almost immediately and couldn't do anything about it. With the passage of the Investment Modernization Act, banks can now legally take bets for these mortgages. This insurance was designed to distribute the risk of investment, but the banks, trying to meet short-term profit goals, took shortcuts. When banks ran out of loans of good credit, they turned to subprime mortgages, which they then offloaded to investors. All the while, rating agencies were giving these derivatives good ratings, leaving these investors in the dark. This left investors with securities that were more risky than the loans themselves. Everyone was told that no matter what, houses always make money. By buying a house that would normally be unaffordable, people put all their nuts in one basket. Their plan was to profit in the end. Unfortunately, that's not how it turned out. After the housing bubble burst, the real estate market dried up and people were stuck with loans that were unpayable in their lifetimes, all the while living in a house that had devalued. The banks, who were too big to fail, were given a share of $700 billion. The problem is that millions were given to top executives as bonuses. The government later ended up bailing out General Motors, as well as try to aid those having mortgage issues. The GM deal eventually panned out, but the banks refused to take short-term loss to help the ones they screwed over in the housing market. The government needs to be better regulators of our economy, as well as being more responsible. Greedy and/or stupid people were allowed to make the rules and the whole country paid for it. Appointments should be made based on merit, not time spent making poor decisions. The banks were allowed to make bad decisions because they knew the government would bail them out. They need to be showed that it won't happen twice. If a bank screws up, let it fail. And people need to stop being so ignorant. Everyone can't just expect someone smarter to solve their problems. The banks knew that people were gullible, and they took advantage of that.